Hey, what's up everyone? My name's Kevin and welcome back to KevinHo Gaming. If you haven't already heard about the new DLC, you've probably seen one of the in-game notifications in Battlefield 1 lately, called Turning Tides. Turning Tides is the third installment for the DLC expansions planned by DICE, and it's supposed to be revolving about amphibious warfare. So that should be interesting. Now, we don't know a lot about this DLC yet. There are a lot of uncertainties, but there are some things that we do know already. So in this video, I just wanted to shortly discuss the things that we do know and what we could expect as additional content in this DLC. Now, there isn't an exact release date yet specified by DICE, but it's safe to assume that it would be somewhere in December. Before that, we still have the October updates and November updates, and then this DLC should be released. Now, of course, for the premium pass holders, it will be available about 2 weeks before, and it will probably come to the CTE platform even earlier than that. Now, if you don't have the premium pass Battlefield 1, it will cost you around 15 euros to buy it. Otherwise, you'll just get it for free. Now, DICE has said there will be a total of 60 new maps coming with all the new DLCs they plan on releasing, and with the Russian DLC and the French DLC, we got 4 maps each. So we'll probably get 4 maps in this one as well. Now, when looking at what we know so far with regards to artwork, one of the maps that is almost confirmed to be in this DLC is called the Battle of Zeebrugge, the Zeebrugge Raid, which is a battle that was fought between the British Army and the German forces at the Belgian coast, more specific at the port of Zeebrugge. One of the other indications that we have that might be featured in the new DLC from one of the concept arts we've seen might be a map during the first days of the Gallipoli offensive. Now, the Gallipoli offensive was between 1915 and 1916 and had a lot of intense battles between the Ottoman Empire and elements of the British Army. Now, when looking into the main theaters that we can see during the World War I naval warfare, we have the Atlantic, North Sea, Baltic Sea, and the Mediterranean. We can assume that there might be an introduction of new operation modes in this DLC as well. And from previous installments, we've seen that they mostly feature 2 maps which are somehow related to each other. Now, seeing as though the first 2 maps that we might be seeing in this DLC originate in the North Sea and one in the Mediterranean, it would be a good guess to assume that the last 2 maps will be in those regions as well. So what can we expect as another map in the North Sea then? Well, from one of the other concept arts we've seen here, which might be one of the first naval battles in World War I of 1940, namely the Battle of Heligoland Bight. As for the map revolving around the Gallipoli offensive, another map that we might be seeing could have something to do with the attack on Constantinople in 1950, which turned into the Battle of Gallipoli. Now, the main action of this was to get the Ottoman Empire out of the war. So for a 4th map, we might be seeing something in this region. So what about new armies then? In the Russian DLC and the French DLC, we've both seen introductions of respective armies. Now, in the Turning Tides DLC, there hasn't been much information about this, but we could assume that we could maybe be seeing some famous elements of the British Army. Think of special forces and stuff like that. And for the maps we've seen in the Mediterranean, which might be featured, we could see the introduction of the Australian and New Zealand Army Corps, which were present in the Gallipoli offense. And actually, this army is already featured in a single player, which can be played during the runner mission. So this might be something we could see in the DLC as well. Now, of course, with any DLC which has already been confirmed, there will be new weapons and new vehicles to use as well. Now, we don't know the exact specifications of the vehicles that we can expect, but it will be safe to assume, and should really come as a surprise, that there will be new ships or a new ship to pilot, because it revolves around warfare, of course. There have also been rumors about a new destroyer and a new Coast-class airship. It's unclear yet if these vehicles will be of the standard variety, such as the landship tank, the AA truck, or if that would rather be of the behemoth class, so like the dreadnought, the normal airship, like that. That remains to see when we finally get our hands on the DLC. Now, for the new weapons, there hasn't been any clear data on that either, but there have been some users that have posed a list of what they think might be present in this DLC. One of these users is a Reddit user by the name of MKJK1990. He made a list on Reddit about some of the weapons he would imagine being in this DLC. Now, he said he has been looking at a lot of Scandinavian weapons, as a lot of naval combat was in the North Atlantic. An example that he has given for the assault class is the OVP, which sounds to be similar to the Automatico that we have now. For the medic, he has suggested that we might see the Madsen Rasmussen, which is simply a semi-automatic version of the Madsen LMG that we already have as well. Now, for the sport class, he says that we might see the Kjellman 1907 LMG, which looks to be like a larger Madsen gun. For the scout, he suggests maybe the French Berthier rifle, and then he has some other suggestions for the sidearms, tanker, and pilots as well. So I've left their list as a link in the description below, so you can check that out if you want. So there are a couple of things I'd like to see implemented in this new DLC, either that or in the October updates or November updates. The thing that I don't really like with the system that they have now with the Premium Pass is that you get this division of communities. You have the players who do have the pass or who bought the DLC and so who can play all the new maps, and you have those who either don't want to or don't have the money to buy the extra DLC, so who are left playing only the base maps. I think that has at least two drawbacks in my opinion. One of them being that sometimes you can have a hard time finding servers on those specific maps for specific game modes. So for example, I wanted to play a game of Frontlines in one of the French maps, but there was no one in the server, and after 5 or 10 minutes no one had joined, so I had to just find something else to do. And another thing that kind of bothers me with that system is when you want to choose a game mode now, you can choose what kind of maps you want to play on. Now, first of all, I think that's great. I mean, you have the opportunity to choose all maps. You can choose for only the base game maps, you can choose for the French and the Russian DLC maps. I think that's great. So you have a choice of what kind of maps you want to play today. But because some people do not have these DLC maps, players who are in a game mode featuring the base maps, they can't all join a DLC map round. So, for example, when you choose to play in a base game map round, you will only be playing those maps. You will not be switching to Russian maps or French maps. And the same goes the other way around. Sometimes if you like to have snow maps, or you go into the Russian DLC maps, start around there, then after 5 rounds you might have seen enough, or you want to change scenery, because all of those maps are with snow. And I mean, I really like those maps, don't get me wrong, but sometimes it's nice to have some changes here and there. And the only way to do that is then to exit out of the game, find a new server with another map, and join that server. I mean, it's not, of course, it's not the worst that can happen, but it would be nice if there was some kind of mechanism in place so you could change up a bit without needing to exit out. So those are my thoughts on the next DLC and the information I could find so far. I'd like to thank you all very much for watching and sticking around. Yeah, let me know what you think about this DLC in the comments down below. Are you going to purchase it, or do you already have the premium pass, or you're not going to bother with it anyway? Let me know in the comments down below what you think. I'd like to hear those. Now, thank you very much for sticking around. If you want to see more videos, you can click here for one of my first series I made here about the Brusilov Star Challenge. And also feel free to subscribe to my channel, leave a like on this video if you liked it, leave some comments for feedback so I can improve my videos in the future. I can use everything that I get to improve the content and bring more entertaining stuff for you guys. So thank you very much for watching and have a great day.